New developments in the Zuzu Verk case. Robert Fabian indicted on an additional charge by a grand jury. Plus, hear from Zuzu's mom on the advance in this case. A new pipeline will soon rip through West Texas, stretching over 100 miles. So what does this mean for our jobs and the economy? Hear what one oil expert has to say. Also, President Donald Trump's proposed budget has some local organizations looking at a grim future when it comes to funding. Hear how they plan to keep helping those who need it the most in our community.
Live from the most watched station in West Texas, you're watching CBS 7 News, the breaking news and weather authority. CBS 7 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CBS 7 News at 6. We begin following new developments in the Zuzu Verk case out of Alpine. Today, Robert Fabian, her former boyfriend, has been indicted on a murder charge. His bond now set at $750,000. You may recall that the former boyfriend of Verk was arrested on a warrant for tampering with or fabricating physical evidence by concealing a human corpse. CBS 7's Amanda DeBerry has been in Alpine all day following this story closely and asking if Fabian is still eligible for parole. She joined us live now with the latest. Amanda?
Jay, that is a good question. And at this point, he is eligible to be released, but only if he can pay almost $93,000, which is 10% of his current bond of $925,000. For 2 days, just behind these courtroom doors, a grand jury has been hearing evidence in case number 4569. That's the case against Robert Fabian. The only people in the courtroom today was the grand jury. Attorneys on either side were not in the courtroom. However, the grand jury found probable cause to move forward with the indictment. Now today, Fabian remains in jail, but with an additional charge for murder, a first-degree felony. This is after his alleged connection with the death of his former girlfriend, Zuzu Verk. You may remember Fabian and his best friend, Chris Estrada, were both arrested and charged with tampering with or fabricating physical evidence by concealing a human corpse. That charge still remains, and Fabian's bond is set at $175,000. This comes after the bond was recently reduced from $500,000. The next step in case 4569 is an indictment hearing where Fabian will hear the charges against him. As for Estrada, he has not faced any additional charges, and it remains unclear if he will. The additional charge for Fabian doesn't come as a surprise to anyone that I spoke to today, and they tell me it's something they've all waited to hear. Live in Alpine, Amanda DeBerry, CBS 7 News.
Amanda, thanks. The state of Texas does allow for capital punishment, meaning if charged, Robert Fabian could see the death penalty. For people facing capital murder in Texas, they usually see life in prison without parole or the death penalty. Team coverage tonight on the Zuzu Verk case. You may recall back in October, 22-year-old Zuzu Verk went missing. Questions were raised whether or not her then boyfriend, Robert Fabian, had any role in the case. That's until Fabian was charged and arrested after remains were found in a shallow grave outside of Alpine. CBS 7's Stephanie Bennett spoke with Zuzu's mother, Lori Verk, this afternoon. Stephanie, what was her reaction?
Jay, these last several months have been nothing short of devastating for the Verk family. But today, closure and justice for Zuzu. Lori Verk tells me she's not surprised by Robert's indictment, but rather relieved.
That's what we've thought all along, and I'm very grateful for the grand jury. They've been working on this long and hard, too.
And now she's finally seeing the first steps of justice being served against the man she believes was behind her daughter's disappearance.
All the evidence points that it was him. He was responsible.
But Verk still has unanswered questions.
I would ask him just to tell me what happened that night. I really would. Just ask him to tell me so I could know.
But today's news is just the beginning for Lori.
It would be a relief for him to let us know what the truth is.
As for Fabian's next trial, Verk says she'll definitely be there.
We're talking about my daughter's life that was taken. If this is the man responsible, I'm going to be there to watch every single minute of it.
Now, since Fabian was just indicted, there's no set date for the trial just yet, but we will, of course, bring you the latest details as the case develops. Live in the newsroom, Stephanie Bennett, CBS 7 News.
Time now for a CBS 7 Weather Authority update.
Well, it is a beautiful afternoon out there with some very warm, near record high temperatures. Let's first look off at the Doppler radar and show you not seeing too much of anything out there. We have seen some thunder shower activity down into the mountain areas. You can see the clouds are on the visible view of the satellite picture, but overall, just clouds covering out portions of Big Bend National Park. Maybe a light shower east of Marathon along U.S. Highway 90 is really about it. Temperatures rather hot out there, lower 90s across the Midland Odessa area down towards Fort Stockton, 92 in Presidio. One of the warm spots, very dry conditions as the Gulf moisture's off to the east, but it'll return though on some southeast winds, and we are going to see some low clouds, maybe a patch or two of fog to start your Saturday.
Tom, thanks very much. Moving on to some oil news, a new pipeline will be coming to West Texas. Phillips 66 announced a 130-mile-long pipeline system that would be built in Reeves, Loving, and Winkler counties, as well as Odessa. CBS 7's Mackenzie Hinkle spoke with a local expert on what this could mean. Mackenzie?
That's right, Jay. More opportunities are headed to the Permian Basin area, which means jobs in the already expanding oil field. The 130-mile-long pipeline initially would transport 130,000 barrels of crude oil with the potential of reaching 450,000 barrels per day. The Rodeo project also includes a storage terminal to service the pipeline set to be built near the Midland-Odessa area. I spoke with former president of the Permian Basin Petroleum Association, Morris Burns, and he told me he sees this as a huge opportunity for growth.
It means a whole lot of jobs for right now. Plus, it means that we will be able to ship that oil that's being produced in Reeves County and in that Delaware Basin through a pipeline rather than trucks or rail.
The completion of the Rodeo pipeline is set for 2018. Reporting live from Odessa, Mackenzie Hinkle, CBS 7 News.
Mackenzie, thanks. Still ahead here on CBS 7 News at 6, how President Donald Trump's proposed budget could affect one local organization that is dedicated to feeding those who need it the most in our community. We're also talking weather after the break. Weather Authority, Tom Tieferteller standing by at the CBS 7 Weather Center. Tom, beautiful spring break week. Is our weekend going to be the same?
Well, so far we've seen temperatures up to about 90 degrees this afternoon. And as we look at your weather headlines, we are going to be looking at some warmer weather.
New details on a story we have here for you on this special edition of CBS 7 News at 6. A new presidential budget proposal could slash funding for a popular program across the country. Tonight we take a look at what this means for Meals on Wheels of Odessa and the hundreds of clients they serve each day.
Yeah, I get meals every day.
Meet 85-year-old Charlie Banks. For nearly 2 decades, Banks has relied on the meal service.
They means a lot. Yeah, it means a lot.
But a new budget proposal could threaten funding for the organization.
This is a salad that goes with the enchiladas, crackers.
The executive director of Meals on Wheels of Odessa says a good portion of their clients don't have the ability to cook.
I have one client that cannot use a stove because they don't have the memory to turn off the fire. So that meal is very important to them.
Under President Trump's proposed 2018 budget plan, the Community Development Block Grant program would be eliminated, and that program funnels money to Meals on Wheels. This year they received $35,000 from the CDBG program, which helps to feed about 53 people. Just to give you an idea, Meals on Wheels serves an average of 500 meals a day in Odessa.
I hate for it to scare my clients, because some have called. They're concerned. They don't realize it's a budget process.
If the proposal passes, juggling funds will become a daily part of the organization's routine.
We have tried to make arrangements through otherwise, and that's what I will be trying to do this year, raise more funds from our fundraiser, Mudbug, or from the community as a whole.
In the meantime, Burton wants to send a message to all her clients.
I hope that they don't get real concerned that they're going to lose their meals, because we will feed them.
Especially those close to her heart, like Charlie, who would struggle without the service.
Yeah, it helps. It helps quite a bit.
Meals on Wheels of Odessa will rely heavily on the community and fundraisers to continue their work. Their annual Crawfish Bowl fundraiser at the Ector County Coliseum is just around the corner. There will also be a silent auction and live jazz band playing. If you'd like more information, there's the information right there if you'd like to attend. All new tonight at 6, a new road is giving runners in Midland more trails, and Midland ISD is looking for your input on a potential closure of Crockett Elementary School in Midland. CBS 7's Alexa Dunson joins us from our Midland newsroom with what you need to know in the Tall City.
Here's a rundown of what's happening in the Tall City. Changes are on the way to Beale Parkway. A new road will give runners and bicyclists 3 miles of trails in Midland. The extension will also reduce traffic in nearby neighborhoods. A ribbon cutting will be held by the city on Tuesday. The new portion of the road cost about $1.2 million. On Monday, Midland College will have a special announcement about this year's CMC. The event, which takes place on April 8th, allows residents in the Permian Basin to visit the campus, talk with academic program personnel and financial aid advisors. Midland College says CMC is their way of letting future students know college is for everyone. And Midland ISD is set to discuss the potential closure of Crockett Elementary. The school has been placed on the state's improvement required list for the past 6 years. The public will have their chance to weigh in during a meeting on Monday at Bowie Elementary School at 5:30. However, the final decision will ultimately be made by the school board. And that's a look at what's happening in the Tall City. For more on those stories, visit our website, cbs7.com. In the Midland Newsroom, Alexa Dunson, CBS 7 News.
Alexa, thanks. Jake Gayton joins us up next. He's talking OC basketball. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. I'm Jake Gayton. Here's a look at local sports today. We've talked plenty of times about the OC women's basketball team, and for good reason. They've been ranked for #1 for most of the year, but the Wranglers men's team, well, they've been deadly as well. Winners of the Whack-Jack tournament, and 3 OC players made the all-conference team for Region 5 as well. Those players, Sammy Barnes-Tompkins, Tyree Robinson, and Marlon Hunter, but the Wranglers aren't about all the stardom. This team is about just competing as just that, a team, and winning one more championship this season.
We get out here and compete every day, so it just goes to show us competing against each other and going against somebody else. We're making each other better here, so it's looking better on the court against other people and other teams.
I would think it would mean some self-satisfaction of the hard work they put in, but you know what we're trying to do. It is about our team. We don't have any guys averaging 25, 30 points a game. We're just a good team. So, and that's what we've been preaching since day one, and you know hopefully it continues another week.
Stick with OC softball, taking on Frank Phillips. Everyone waving at the camera, including the OC's John Stanton as well. In the third, OC up big. Runners on first and third. Pickle time! Runner goes to second on the throw. The runner on third goes to home, and she scores. And then the next inning, same situation, same exact play. This time, though, the Frank Phillips player gets Elizabeth Hinkman out at home. And then later in the inning, runner on third, Brooke Ryan hits a screamer to left. Hits the umpire right in the gut. Oh, the runner comes in, but the umpire goes down on the replay. Ooh, he would not return to the game. Let's look at the final score in this one. OC would cruise to a 6-0 victory, and in the second game, they would win as well, 15-0. Now to the 9th team in the country, Midland College taking on Clarendon College. Shasaline Huhuali, now that's a name for you. She hits it right back to Clarendon's pitcher, then throws to first for the double play. Then the Bulldogs batting, Sierra actually gets one by the first baseman and into right, so runner on for MC's Christine Kistner. She gets the K, though, and she was dealing all day long. Let's look at the final score in this one. OC would win their first game 6-2 and win their second game as well. Now to baseball for the Shaps. We start in the first. Ethan Barker on first. They're taking on New Mexico Military Institute. Hill Alexander grounded to second, gets bouched for the double play. No one is out. Next up, the former player of the week, Alex Salcido, to left field. It's going to drop, and another run scores. That's going to be Barker. The next batter, Eric Sr., hits it to right. So much sun on this beautiful day. He loses it in the sun, the right fielder. Another run's going to come in. Let's look at the final score in this one. Midland College would cruise to 11-3 victory, and in the first game of the day, they won 16-1. And of course, here are the games coming up tonight on CBS 7. We have number 7 Dayton taking on number 10 Wichita State. That's starting right after our newscast, and I have Wichita State winning that one. And after the game, we have number 2 Kentucky taking on the 15-seed Northern Kentucky in the Battle of the Bluegrass State. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
Great weekend. Get out and enjoy it.
Yeah, we are going to be looking at again for this weekend some warm temperatures. Weak cool front will drop temperatures a couple of degrees tomorrow thanks to that east wind. But overall, lots of sun. Only place seeing an isolated thunderstorm down in the mountain areas each afternoon.
NCAA basketball continues.
Yeah, how's your bracket doing, Jake? Mine's
I'm
busted
still alive.
right now.
I'm still alive.
Mine's
I got a
busted
few
right
still
now.
in.
Hopefully we'll have a couple more upsets tonight, though, coming up at CBS 7.
All right. Again, we're going to be late tonight. Basketball is up next. We'll see you tonight after the basketball.